wave at them. I mean, we're live now, but let's wave at them anyway. All right. All right, here we go. Measuring countdown. Three, two, one. Hey, what's going on? And welcome to another episode of the Sports Bros podcast. If you're loving the show, do us a quick favor. Hit that follow button, give us a like, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. Whether you're tuning in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube, your support helps keeps us bringing the heat each and every week. Scott, you can start waving now. I don't want your arm to fall off. Also, follow us all on social media. Just click the link in the chat box or the description box to keep up with the Sports Bros podcast. I go by the name of HOC, Eddie Cool here at the Sports Bros podcast. The weather's finally nice. I got a chance to cook some chicken and some brats on the grill yesterday. So, that's a good thing when the weather is breaking. All right, enough of my incoherent rambling because they can go on and on and on. I have two of the best coaches in the world. Not just one, but two of the best coaches in the world. Introducing first from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He is the captain of this here ship. While we're streaming on the various social media networks, he is the almighty Be Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? Eddie Cool, I'm going to throw this out to you real quick. Scotty D, you should understand this as well. But the word of the day is rotation. Rotation. Using all of your assets, rotation. Calling players off of the bench, rotation. Okay. Using your stars and your reserve players so the stars don't get tired, rotation. That's why we keep Scotty D around every now and again so he doesn't get, when he's on the bench for the majority of the week, he doesn't get too rusty because in his old age, he tends to do that way. But I'm saying this is how you coach a team. Rotation. Make sure your key players, Eddie Cool and myself, and then your reserve players, Scotty D, make sure that he gets enough playing time as well. And that's how you keep a job. Oh, my bad. Go ahead and introduce our reserve player, our other guy.
You know what? I think I know what you're hinting at. I think I know exactly what you're hinting at. But anyways, the other guy, he is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania. And 9 times out of 10, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure he went to work today. He is the one, the only, the money man, Scotty D.
Oh, my breath as I wish for death. Oh, please, God, wake me. And like the sun, the star, you two keep rotating around me. Scott Dunn and the Sports Bros podcast is here.
Boy.
And much to Be Live's chagrin, we are deep in a happy hour right now doing this. So we're cutting into his time because it is a little bit later than we usually would be broadcasting. So we're in the Be Live's happy hour time. But he's happy anyway. He's happy anyway.
Excellent song choice. I'm telling you, I'm still sitting on cloud 9. That concert was absolutely breathtaking.
Be Live went to see Metallica.
Oh, he went to see. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, why is Scotty singing that song?
And nothing else matters. Nothing else.
I promise you it doesn't, bro. Oh, when I tell you, absolute bucket list. Eddie Cool, and just for reference, still is the second most exciting experience I've had in Bank of America Stadium. You already know what number 1 is. But dude,
soccer. Yeah, soccer.
No.
Anyway, but man, once again, Bank of America Stadium was literally rocking. I'm pretty sure there was some Richter scale involvement. Not as much as Lane Stadium in Virginia Tech, but still it was very close. Metallica, Pantera, Suicidal Tendencies absolutely rocked the house. Loved it. Yeah, listen to that. I digress a little bit. Sports and all the things, but yeah, oh my goodness. Whew, yes, sir.
Well, shoot, that's pretty doggone dope, man. Because you know how sports and music, they coincide with each other, all right?
Oh
man,
my God.
Yeah, they really do. With that being said, fellas, we got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. Of course, we have the choice of the voices and also a round of pepper. But before we go all the way that way first, let's go ahead and hop right into it. The top of the order. Cue the graphic, Be Live.
All right, let's get this started of the order.
And We're back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 299 of the SportsBros podcast. Next week will be episode 300. Do we have anything special planned? Not at the moment, but things can happen within a week's time. I can't say that.
I think I'm doing that one solo, right?
Absolutely not. The precursor to episode 300 is all the things that we're adding right now. We've been sort of just like adding additional elements to the show, and 300 will be the culmination. Essentially, what it is just we're building up to it, and of course, episode 300, I will be a year older. So you know what I'm saying that
Right.
they don't get no better than that. Celebrating National Happy
Oh
Be
my
Live Day.
goodness.
Oh yeah,
We're doing it on your birthday and during happy hour.
No,
we don't have
the
a
day
prayer next week.
the day after my birthday. We're going to be recording on Tuesday. We talked
Yes.
about this,
Okay.
Yes.
so I can yes,
Yes,
So your birthday will be before the next episode.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so happy birthday right now. I'm going to wish you right now. Happy
There
birthday.
you go. There you go.
What is this one, Be Live?
43.
43.
43. Oh yeah, and I'm just incredibly thankful. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be enjoying this with you guys, and just everything that's happened over the course of the past year. It's been absolutely amazing. That the Metallica concert was essentially my birthday present to myself.
Oh wow.
And it was in. Oh man, I'm so hyped. But we got so much sports to talk about, and we're almost in the dog days of summer. But there's still some very important series that are going on right now. You know, so trying to crown some champions and whatnot, because we are down to 2 in both the NBA and the NHL. Eddie Cool, lead the way, my friend. Yes, sir.
All right, down to 2. So let's go ahead and get it started, shall we? All right, so we have the NBA Finals, fellas. I almost said players. I'm gonna say it again. We got NBA Finals players. All right, and so coming out the Western Conference, we got SGA and the crew versus in Oklahoma City versus the Indiana Pacers, led by what the Hallie, Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, and the rest of the gang there. So, fellas, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. All right. And question number 1, who has more to prove in this final series? Is it SGA or Tyrese Halliburton? Be Live, I'm going to start with you first.
See, here's the thing. That is a good question. It's also a very loaded and broad question.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to answer it in the most vague way possible. They both do. This is a pivotal moment in both their careers. Halliburton's been overlooked. They don't consider him a superstar, and he's sometimes second fiddle. And is he really the next big thing? Does he have the Reggie Miller type esque superstardom in him? Is he a top level player? Like some media pundits don't even call him a superstar, and I'm like, are y'all smoking on something? This dude is a bona fide superstar, and he's showing it to us every single day, especially this year. And then you got SGA, and everybody. Some people are saying that he got the MVP because of Joker fatigue and all these other things. So they don't even consider him an MVP. And all this dude has done is led his team to 68 wins. You do realize the record is 73. This team has been balling. They were 16 games ahead of the second place team in the West, and nobody's talking about them. And they want to downplay SGA, and they want to say, "Oh well, they're a step away." No, the time is now. Dun, 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 dun. The time is now. Yo, SGA, Tyrese Halliburton, somebody's gonna be disappointed. Somebody's gonna get them on pundits like, oh well, he ain't what we thought he was. No. These guys are both bona fide superstars, and to get to this level of the game, yes, winning is winning, and we must reward winning. But this should not be any type of negativity, win lose for either one of these teams. These guys will be here. They're young. They're here for a long time. These are your new stars of the NBA. Pass the guard. This is the time. These guys have done nothing but show that they are elite players in this league. And also, above all, more than anything, I'm gonna take a step away from the superstardom and say this is how the NBA should be formed and viewed because the team element of the game is back.
Mhm.
The team element is back. It's not your big three. It's actually team effort from across the board because any one of these guys on the starting lineup can score 20 on you, drop 10 boards. Any one of them can. Indiana's been one of the most efficient offensive teams in the league. OKC's been one of the most efficient defensive teams in the league. This is where the rubber meets the road, and I'm here for it. I endured 82 games of mediocre basketball to get to the playoffs to finally show what it really is. And this is the time. June basketball. Let's get it. Let's go.
Scotty D, what say you?
What was the question again? Phrase it. I know the phrasing of it.
Who has more to prove, SGA or Tyrese
Prove?
Halliburton?
I actually don't really think either of them have much to prove at this point.
Okay.
Both teams have sailed past Steph Curry, LeBron, the Joker, the Celtics, who are the defending champion. I don't think really either of them have anything to prove at this point. It's not like a situation where Dirk Nowitzki was in the league and a star, one of the best players in the league, and finally had an opportunity. He had to prove he was one of the best by winning. Or when LeBron won his first one with Cleveland without the assistance of his big three partners. I don't think there's a whole lot to prove as far. I think they've already proved that they're two of the best young players in the league. They've already proved that. Alexander's already proved he's an MVP. I mean, he's won that already. And like you said, B-Lab, there's so much more team oriented than big three oriented that I don't think like Halliburton has to be the man on Indiana. I mean, you obviously need him to play well, but there's enough weapons on that Indiana team. They're just shooting lights out from downtown, and their chemistry has been fantastic throughout the playoffs. I don't think either one of them have much to prove because I don't think if whichever one loses, I don't think the pressure mounts. Like, wow, that was such a blown opportunity. No, that's the first time both of these guys have been in there. They're basically playing with house money. So I don't really think there's a lot. I don't think it's win this to prove how good you are. I think it's win it to be joyful. I mean, I just think it's a celebration for whichever guy gets their hands on the trophy.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
and
I'm sorry.
and a piggyback off of that, essentially, like he was saying, these guys are young. These teams will be back again. This is like there's no doubt in my mind that either one of these teams, this is their last chance to grasp on. No, they'll be back. So I like the way you said they really are playing with house money. This is gonna be fun. And like I said, win or lose, this is going to be an entertaining series. I just hope it doesn't end up in a sweep that a lot of people are already claiming because a lot of people making the Thunder overwhelming favorites. And so, but
yeah, and if they would lose and then they'd come back next year and lose, then I would think maybe after a couple of those times, then you'd say, man, Gilgeous-Alexander really has to prove that he has what it takes to take his team over the top. I don't think in the first attempt at winning a championship, he has anything to prove other than, hey, let's just go out and win this thing.
Yeah, you're right about that. I also don't think like I'm like, do they really have anything to prove? It's like nope, because it's the classic case of as according to the rest of the world, two small market teams and this whole small market talk. Let's go ahead and just put the kibosh on that right now when it comes to whole small market talk. I mean, look, we understand. Oklahoma City, not a big market. Indianapolis, Indiana, not a big market. It's a market, but not like the LA or the Dallas or the Houston or the New York or the Atlanta market. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
not those.
Knicks versus Lakers would be fantastic right now.
Oh, it would be. It really would be. It would be. But I, you know, for
Brunson versus Bronny, that would be fantastic. It's too bad we didn't.
Here we go.
Too bad we didn't get
there's a Yankees mention. But I think it's gonna be a good series. The second question I have, which franchise has more at stake legacy wise? Because you have to remember when OKC, when they were the Seattle Supersonics, they won the title back in the 70s. And ever since they've been in Oklahoma City, they've gotten close, but no cigar. And then you look at the Pacers, they've gotten close, but no cigar as well, too. So who has more from a legacy standpoint? Scotty D.
I would say it's similar to the previous question,
Mm.
but I would think that if we go years down the road and look back at this could be the beginning of something big for the Thunder. So I would think they have a chance. I think they have a better chance to build a legacy right now than Indiana, who I think will have a harder time getting back here next year. Where I think the Thunder could be back here a couple times over the course of the next few years. Whereas, the Celtics are still really good. They had some injuries. The Knicks are still, I know they're kind of in flux with some news we heard today, but I don't know. Indiana right now just seems to be peaking and gelling, and because of that, they will probably lose some players to free agency. They will have undergo some changes. Where I think the Thunder are building around potentially the best young player in the league. So I think legacy-wise, this could be the beginning of building one for the Thunder, but I don't think it's particularly this one is a legacy builder. The Nuggets won 2 years ago. The Bucks won 4 years ago. They didn't really have a legacy. They just have a championship. So I think that's kind of where this is at right now.
Eli, what say you?
Well, I'm going to use Scotty D's argument, but in reverse. I think that OKC is going to be around for a few years. Mm-hmm. So it may not necessarily be as important to them. And technically they already have, granted it's the 70s, but they have a NBA title. The Indiana Pacers, the state of Indiana is synonymous with basketball. You would think the Pacers would have a richer history, but of course, it's synonymous with basketball because of the college team, the Indiana Hoosiers. But you hear Indiana, you immediately think basketball. You might sprinkle in a little little IndyCar racing. Mm-hmm. But when you hear the state of Indiana,
I don't.
He said no. He said no.
The Indianapolis 500.
I heard of that. Yeah, I heard of that.
Come on, bro. You give
I think they just had it, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, who won?
Yeah, they did. I don't even know. Dario Franchitti. No, I'm joking.
Don't do that.
Exactly. We don't even know who, and it was a week ago. We don't know who won. Okay, go ahead.
What they need to do, the Coca-Cola 600 NASCAR, they need to start that race earlier because it started at 6 and didn't get over until almost midnight.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lead us into a car race discussion. Back to your point.
See what you done did?
I did that. I said what I said, and I meant what I said. But no, you hear Indiana, you immediately think about basketball. And to think that the Indiana Pacers have never won an NBA title and to be that close, think about this, that the New York, their fans right now are devastated because they got so close and didn't make it. Think about the Indy fans right now that have never experienced an NBA title. Mm-mm. And as half the fans, they have no idea what the ABA is.
No.
So that's supposed to say, this is what Indiana fans have been waiting for their entire lives. To watch a little teensy bit of the Pat McAfee show, and they were talking all kinds of crazy stuff. They were talking about chess earlier yesterday. I'm like, I turned it off. I said, chess, really? How I feel about chess is the way that Scott feels about NASCAR. But and I was like,
or bowling, why cover that?
Sir, see, you see, all right, 3, 2, 1, 1. See, you antagonize me, and that's okay. That's all right. I understand that, but it's all right. It's all right. I'm getting better. Back to what I was saying. I think it just means more to Indy, the fans. I think Oklahoma City's fans, of course, they're excited. Of course, they want it. But I feel like it'll be just a little bit more devastating to Indy fans because it's a basketball state.
Yeah.
But man, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be
Oklahoma
crazy.
Just losing softball or something. Isn't that state kind of sad right now?
Yeah,
it is. It is an all Texas Women's College World Series final. Texas versus Texas Tech. The mighty Oklahoma Sooners have fallen in soccer.
Wow.
They
always win it. They always win.
Yeah, they could use a little pick-me-up from the NBA basketball team because it really wasn't much of a pick-me-up after watching Raw last night. I said,
Do they still have Durant? Is Durant still in the Thunder?
No.
Kendrick Perkins is. No, I'm lying. I'm joking.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Serge Ibaka, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, am I going to even watch this? If
James Harden. That didn't make it. That team right there. How did they not win with that team? But there's stars right now of SGA and Chet Holmgren.
They still have Steven Adams?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay.
He's in Houston, I think.
Oh. All right.
But you know what, B-Live? I don't know if I told you guys or I told somebody. I can't wait till ESPN puts together the 30 for 30 of the Oklahoma City Thunder when it comes to when it comes to that big three of Harden, Westbrook, and Durant, the best team that never won it.
Three different MVP players and they were in their. It wasn't like they were old and aging. They were in their. They were actually in their younger stages of their career. Like it was untapped potential, prime talent, and James Harden was the sixth man. He came off the bench.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. Came off the bench, and I remember he was like, "You gonna give me $50 million, or I'm gonna quit." And he showed up to Houston and just had a magnificent run of epic proportions. Real quick, fellas, who wins and why?
Thunder, because they're better. I don't see them having the defensive lapses that the Knicks had. The Knicks gave those guys an awful lot of wide open looks.
Oh, they did. They did.
I as much as I like to go against the grain, I really just think the Thunder are just more talented. I think that
you picked them to go to the finals anyway from the beginning, so you kind of gotta go.
He did that.
Just saying, like I felt like, and it's come to fruition. I just think Oklahoma City they've just been playing better basketball than all the rest, and here's where we're at. Would I love it? Like I said, I wanted to be competitive. I would like for it to go 6 games, but I don't think this goes past 5. I think OKC in 5. Eddie, cool. You want to throw something in there?
Indiana Pacers, Pacemaker, Pace car.
Oh man,
watch your pace.
We're still doing that.
Don't matter. Thunder and 5. Thunder and 5. I'm over the shoulder, Scotty. I'm like, what in the hell?
Pace spot. I put him on.
He sure did.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, you got cornered into that one, Eddie. Cool.
Yeah, that's all right. Though. Come on, swing.
We got to do something since it's not on the air. So shoot, we got to carry on his legacy.
Yeah, man.
Need not stop.
Is he still doing Club Shay Shay though? He's still doing that, right?
Yeah, he's still doing Club Shay Shay, and he's doing Nightcap. He's just.
I thought I saw him talking to Dave Portnoy the other day, and I think that was new.
Yeah, that was Club Shay Shay.
He's still doing that. He just just can't be doing what he's been doing and be on the Big Ear Mouse Network.
Why is Portnoy a pizza expert? What makes him a pizza expert? I mean,
nobody
is he a
knows.
chef? Is he a chef?
I don't pay attention to Dave Portnoy.
He's a sports guy, right? So why is he eating
Barstool?
pizza? Why is everybody? Yeah.
Well, the Barstool Sports, but he started doing. If I'm not mistaken, he started doing like a pizza segment. But I don't think he's a pizza expert. I just think he really likes pizza and made a platform for himself. He's like the Keith Lee of pizza.
It's not really that good though. He like takes a bite here, and he eats off the side, 7-2, and he's done.
I mean that's essentially what Barstool Sports is. And
uncouth, unedited.
Here's the thing. I'll because I have hands-on experience with Barstool Sports.
That's right. It is
rough and hands-on experience with pizza.
Shut up.
I eat pizza too. I was trying to be nice.
No, you weren't.
I eat pizza too. Yeah.
No, you weren't. God. All these personal attacks.
It's not an attack.
I'm an alcoholic. I'm a fat ass. That's what you implied that,
no,
sir.
I was.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SportsBros podcast.
I wasn't.
Your favorite sports podcast. Rate, review, subscribe, and show
I
us
eat a lot of pizza too.
Wow.
I wasn't implying that. We're all pizza.
Jesus. Okay, we'll try this again. Barstool Sports, Rough and Rowdy fights, whatever they do. They were in Fayetteville, and I was working at Max, and I coordinated with Barstool Sports. They did their entire podcast and promoted the Rough and Rowdy boxing is a hot mess. It is not even amateur boxing. It's literally dudes off the street just throwing haymakers the whole entire time, and they advertised it and promote it as such. It's literally the epitome of what Barstool Sports is. Does anybody take Barstool Sports seriously when it comes to any of their takes?
No,
Absolutely not.
no.
But that's what it's the silliness of it that has such an appeal to the jocks of today and their target audience. Their target audience is exactly what you think they are, but the dumb.
Yeah, just
but I ain't gonna lie to you. I try to get in the dough with him, and Dave Portnoy is not the easiest person to work with. I'll say that loud and publicly. He's not the easiest person.
Good point,
but,
too.
How does he do it, Scott?
Good point, too.
It's what I'll say. He has a following.
I actually like him. To be honest with you, I like him.
He's hard to deal with, but he has a niche.
Mm-hmm.
He has a niche, and I can't blame anybody for making success for themselves. He is definitely basically he's a homegrown brand essentially. Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports, and it's entertaining. It's entertaining.
I like him way better than Doris.
Oh my!
That.
Oh boy!
Oh boy!
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. People are not happy with Doris now.
I know because she sucks.
Hold on, what did Doris do? We gonna get to his next.
To be honest with you, Scotty D has always had a thing with it, but her being part of the team as far as like calling the games and stuff like that, it's not good.
Serious downgrade from Van Gundy and Mark Jackson.
Yeah, that's
Doris.
That is like the overwhelming consensus that Mark Jackson and Van Gundy are sorely missed.
Yeah.
Sorely missed. That's not a Scotty D we already know how you feel. No, this is a consensus of people just like, but it might bring, but he's over there suffering because he doesn't have anybody to call to him. He's now just a catchphrase, and but he's over here trying to hold them up, and it's
trying to make chicken salad.
Yeah,
out of chicken poop. Hey, it's like this. Just go ahead and bring the NBA on ESPN. Let's go ahead and bring Shaq, Charles, Ernie, and Kearney on over. Just go ahead and bring them. Just go ahead and bring them over now. Let's go ahead and bring them over now.
And let me say, and I'm gonna echo somebody else that said this. Stephen A., stay your grubby little hands off of that show. I don't want to see you nowhere near inside the NBA. Let them cook, please.
Yeah.
For the love of God. Yeah. Just stay away from them. I know you want to be an NBA expert. No. Let them do what they do. They have a chemistry that is unmatched. How many Emmys? I think they had 22 Emmys.
Yeah, 22 Emmys. Yeah, don't go in there and
just leave stuff alone.
Yeah,
I know you want to be the big dog.
He'll be on it.
That's what I'm praying.
Well, they have guests. They bring people on from time to time. I'm sure
I don't want Stephen A.
Not as a regular panelist. Well,
I don't want Stephen A. at all. You got your own platform. You got your own show. Leave stuff alone. Let them cook.
Yeah, I'm just glad they're going to be on TV. All right, fellas. So some breaking news before we did hit record button earlier today. I'm looking at a baby bunny out here. So adorable. Anyways, breaking news from Shams. I'm not going to pronounce his last name because I'll put a knife to it. According to ESPN, breaking news. Tom Thibodeau is out as head coach of the New York Knicks. Sources tell Shams. Yeah, they get Tom Thibodeau, run them ragged up out of there. I didn't see this coming. It's a total surprise. What say you, fellas?
They could at least waited until the end of the NBA Finals. Let it sort of simmer. Who would have thought that the Knicks haven't been here in the past 25 years? They've never seen this level of success and fall right in suit with other firings that have happened this year of coaches that I get it. this is one thing I explained earlier with the whole rotation. Tom Thibodeau does not like using his bench.
No, he doesn't.
He does not at all. But
he likes it more than JJ Redick.
He got me too. There you go. But the fact that you get the Knicks are literally on like a. I know they're disappointed, but the Knicks have every right to be least enthusiastic that Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, they can get back there next year. But then you you say, oh, we're gonna need it. Who in the game right now is better than Tom Thibodeau right now? Is like looking for a job. There is one name that's been shopped around a little bit.
Who? Be live? Who?
I mean, we had
Mark Jackson.
No.
Van Gundy.
No.
Doris.
Nope. we might have had his his media guy on our show earlier.
Just say.
Jay Wright.
Jay Wright, yeah. The name escapes me.
Because of the Villanova players that are on the Knicks.
I think it's a media creation.
I mean, they might, because he might be good and retired. He might not want it. He wanted to be, But that there are a couple names I'm talking about. But I'm just my point was being that who in the game right now is this good or better than Tom Thibodeau?
Has Doc Rivers been to Nick yet? Has he been there?
Scotty D say, "Yep, it's time for Doc Rivers." Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get throat surgery. I'll delay it. I'll just go ahead and get this New York Knicks job because I used to play for the Knicks and it's a real good atmosphere. It's a good time. I'm going to bring my wife, my kids, and I need to get a deal with Soup Rats because this throat, good God Almighty, I don't even smoke.
Has Mike Brown been there yet?
No. Mike Woodson has.
Mike Woodson, I could get him a call back. All right. Anyway,
no.
Yeah, I didn't see the Thibodeau thing coming either, but who knows what goes on behind the scenes? That's crazy. So
it's only been a couple of days since they lost. And you kicked the coat.
Something happened between him and the front office. I think.
I think so.
That's wild to me. It's like I could understand if they had a bad season, but this is literally the greatest.
A good one, best, yeah.
This is the best season they've had in
25 years.
Yeah,
maybe is Triple H in the front office? Is that why he?
Hey man, you never know. The way they let people go left and right, you never know.
Eddie, you might have to invite me on the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling podcast because I got a whole heck of a lot to say about Triple H and TKO and the mess that they got going on.
Yeah. That's nuts. They let Uncle Ronnie go, and then Carlito's leaving, and then Sarah Logan leaving, and who's next?
Sarah Logan, she ain't done nothing. But the reason behind it is asinine to me. But I mean, if the rumors are correct, I guess the TKO is $3.3 billion in the hole. That's a whole nother thing. But I don't profess
in the hole.
Yeah, there's those reports that they are really. They're in the red badly, and so that's why what this is going on. But again, I digress a lot. Amtrak could do something because, yeah,
yep. I didn't see this coming as well too with Coach Tom Thibodeau because, like you said, this is one of the best seasons they had within the last 25 years, and we know Tom Thibodeau has a reputation of grinding that muscle on down to the bone, and then here's what it is, and I guess Nick's brass was like, you're not about to do what JJ Redick did, and not start and not take your starters out. You're not about. That's what you're not about to do. So I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be interesting to see who's out there because that's my thing about it. Be Live and Scotty D, when they always say we fire coach such and such, who's out there? I mean, you never know. You never know. And looking at my phone because I've yet to get a watch. Guess what time it is?
Time is what's happening? What's going on?
Oh, Black Snow. I'm glad you asked. It's time once again for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. With that being said, hey, yo, Button, hit it. Choice of the Voices coming at you after this break right here on the Sports Bros podcast. Stick stay. Don't you dare go away. See you in a
Button
few.
here? Is button here?
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices. Now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
There's that. Scott Donnelly Facebook page.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and
Is it my turn?
yes,
Ever so lovely.
Miss Button for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. I had to stand up, all right?
Thank God we're not live.
Yeah, we're going live. Too late for that, but we keep this train rolling. All right, with that being said, you know how we do here, the choices of the voices. We give you the question, y'all give us the answer, and we talk about it right here on the Sports Bros podcast on the choices of the voices. With that being said, Scotty D, what's on tap for this week's choices of the voices?
Well, it was quite a weekend. The Yankees at the Dodgers, and we were talking about the reigning MVPs, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. And it looks like, as of right now, those two are the leading candidates to be the MVPs again this year, to repeat. And the question was, do you think they will repeat? And if not, who would be the one or ones that would prevent that from happening? And Eddie Cool, other than Trey Duke's response, what did the people say?
We're going to read that one first, all right?
Okay.
We're going to read that right now. All right, Trey Dizzle, he says, Dak Prescott robbed us of 10 years of history already. Make that 11. Be live. What you got for Trey Dizzle?
Trey, you usually give us something where you put in a little bit of effort to tie in what the question was and how it could possibly, which it never does, relate to Dak Prescott. You didn't even try this time, and sir, with that being said, we got something for you, and I got a graphic for you. You're going right into the penalty box. You right there with Snoopy, picture and all.
We have a penalty box graphic?
We have a penalty box graphic.
Boy, I'm going to have to start watching this show.
With Trey Dizzle's mug right there in the penalty box. Yes, I put in a little work right there to put him right there in there for his Dak Prescott answer. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn about messing with us with his choices of voices. You gonna be on the show, all right. You won't get featured, but not in the way that you like.
In the words of Darryl Ray, in the words of Darryl Ray from NHL '98, in the sin bin he goes. All right, in the sin bin he goes.
The sin bin for Trey Duke.
Yeah, the sin bin. All right, so next one, Brett Gambita. Is that right, Scotty?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Brett Gambita, he says, Pete Crow Armstrong. Help. Who is that?
Chicago Cubs. He's with the Chicago Cubs, and the Cubs are
Good
here.
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are very much here.
First place.
And Pete Crow Armstrong is leading the way. And so I don't have the stats in front of me, but he's definitely a name to follow. And so, Brett, I will give you a good answer on that.
Throw him in the penalty box. He's not winning it.
No. So,
He's not.
You know,
He's not going to win it.
That's not the question. Your question said who could possibly overtake Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge. And
it's not possible.
He gave a good answer.
I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. Penalty box.
No, I'm not putting him in the penalty box.
Okay.
No. Brett, he gave actually a good answer.
He gave a good answer, but not a great answer.
Wow. You're going to discourage people from actually answering.
No.
That was a good answer.
I'm going to encourage them to answer better.
Well, yeah, we'll get to you and your answer in a second.
Okay.
Eddie, cool. Keep it
that's a good answer. I appreciate.
Brett, I ain't gonna let him do it to you. I ain't gonna let him do it to you.
Appreciate the answer.
All right. All right. Up next, we got Ron Humphreys, and he says, I think they will repeat. Judge is a tremendous talent, and Shohei will be dominant on the mound again. Everyone knows he is also a king in the box as well, too. So he's saying both of them will run it back. Judge in the AL and Ohtani in the National League.
Yeah, and Ohtani's getting closer to getting back on the mound. He's been throwing, so he might be pitching soon. I don't know, like soon means before the All-Star break, but he's throwing. He's getting there. He'll be probably pitching this season.
Yeah, if he's throwing, he go ahead and lock it up. Right now, you go ahead and lock it up. All right. All right, so we got Christian Norris Vandenberg. He says Kyle Schwarber.
Schwarber's having a good year. With Schwarber, though, he's on a really good team, and Trey Turner's having an outstanding year too. That might be one of those where they cancel each other out. But Schwarber is actually having a really good year this year. I don't know if he would be enough to overtake Ohtani, but he's having a good year. So, and the Phillies are a game and a half behind the Mets, so they're right there. They're right in the mix.
In the words of B-Live, boo.
And they have lost 4 in a row, so I can imagine that losing streak will not last too much longer because they're too good.
And the Colorado Rockies have 11 wins.
Wow.
Woo!
Good old Rockies. Rocky Mountain High.
10 and 50. 10 and 50.
Don't have 10. 10 and 50. Oh, boy.
Colorado, if you listen to the podcast, watch the podcast, I tried.
And he might have tried, but I wasn't gonna let him do it. Y'all are terrible. Get your life together.
Yeah.
And my Braves need to do the same thing.
Oh my God, do they?
Good Lord.
Their run differential is minus 183 in 60 games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Captain Caveman retired, didn't he? Charlie Blackman, he retired, didn't he? He's gone.
Yeah.
But here's the one thing and yes, the Rockies are the god-awful worst, but I got to throw this out here. Let me see if I can calculate this correctly. 18 games ago, the Athletics were actually leading the AL West. They are now 10 and a half games behind because they've gone 1-17 in the last 18 games.
Oof.
They are going in the absolute wrong direction. Because I happened to look at that, and I was like, wait a minute. And then I saw it again, and then they were on a 10-game losing streak. They won a game, and now they're on a 7-game losing streak.
Yeah.
It is not a good thing in Sacramento right now. And this is the team that Las Vegas is going to be inheriting. Whoopsie. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it seems like Las Vegas, the only thing you got going on right now, good going for you, is the Aces. All right. Good boy. All right, here we go. All right, Brenda Johnson. What's up, Brenda Johnson? She says still a lot of baseball to be played, but if Tatis took it from Ohtani, that would make my day. So she's going for Fernando Tatis Jr. of the San Diego Padres over Ohtani.
A little bounce back situation from him.
I like that answer.
Yeah. From him missing half the season last year. But yeah, Fernando Tatis is that dude. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Like I said, and the way she makes it sound, because we might not really care for the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani, especially us as Braves fans. So we're experiencing some Ohtani fatigue. So Fernando Tatis Jr., a little breath of fresh air. Yes, sir.
Yep, I see that too. All right. And Brandon Plotnick, he says, barring injury, it's these two. That's it. Everyone else is just unfortunate to be playing at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And just be honest and real. That's the reason the question that Sky D posed is exactly what it is, because what argument do we have right now to dethrone the two? Let's talk about it. But these have been great answers, except for Trey Dizzle, and that's why he's where he's at. Oh yeah,
hanging out with
Billy
Snoopy.
Bob Armstrong.
Bob Armstrong. Bullet Bob Armstrong. Give him what it is on one of those, daddy. All right, so shout out to Trey Dizzle, Brett, Ron, Christian Vandenberg, Brenda Johnson, and Brandon Plotnick for their participation in this week's Choices of the Voices. I'll go first. We're going to get out the way. I'm kind of like Brandon here. Barring any injury, it's going to be these two. As far as any real threat during the duration of the season, I don't see anybody that jumps out by, hey, I'm going to come take it from you. And like Scotty D said, once Ohtani starts pitching again, you got to look at, okay, he'll be pitching and he'll be batting. So that'll up his value more from an MVP standpoint. So I think they both run it back, and the Yankees, if they can get it together and just hold that thing in the road there, I won't be surprised to see Aaron Judge win again as well too. So yeah, we got a couple two-time league MVPs possibly running it back. Over to you, Scotty D.
Yeah, I think injuries are the only thing that are going to prevent either of them. I do think it. To me, the Ohtani thing concerns me when he starts pitching. Though, if he does start pitching, is that going to make his bat suffer? Is he going to be not paying as much attention? I don't know. He's a pro. He's one of the best to do it. So I don't know, but I kind of I like what he's doing right now. I don't know if I'd want to put him on the mound and take away what he's doing. But in the National League, I think he does have a little competition. I like the Tatis answer. I actually think Machado might have the better chance of the Padres because Machado's actually hitting over 300 right now. Only 7 home runs, but you got to believe his power is going to come up. But I think in the National League, uh, I think Francisco Lindor could be the guy. Francisco Lindor, the Mets, he's batting 285, 14 home runs, 36 RBIs, plays great in the field, and has a number already. I'm not sure the exact number, but a handful of first inning home runs, and he's really set the table for the Mets early. So I think National League wise, Lindor could be the one guy that could sneak up on Ohtani. And again, Machado could catch fire, Tatis could catch fire. These are big ifs, but right now the guy I think that could be the most viable candidate in the National League would be the Lindor. And in the American League, the Mariners are actually having a good season, and Cal Raleigh's a big reason for that. Their catcher, he's playing outstanding. He's at 17 home runs, 35 RBIs. If the Mariners continue to play well and stay in first place, Cal Raleigh a distant second. And I look at Vladimir Guerrero as kind of like I looked at those other guys in the National League as somebody you'd have to pour a little gasoline on. He's having a good season, but not an MVP type of season. But Judge, his batting average just dipped to under 400. I mean, he's a threat to knock it out of the stadium every time he steps in the box. And this year he's hitting for average, a great average, and plays well in the field. Again, if he's healthy, he's not getting that taken off of him. Ohtani, I think, would be the more likely of the two where have somebody catch him. Like I said, if one of those guys gets hot. So Lindor, possibly, and Cal Raleigh of the Mariners, possibly. B-Live, who you got?
Oh, man. In the AL, it's not a chance. Just cancel it. I mean, you mentioned a couple good names. Cal Raleigh for Seattle, Bobby Witt Jr. for the Royals are names that are up there. But Aaron Judge, it's already a wrap. Dude is already he's looking at triple crown. And like he's on base plus slugging. Aaron Judge is doing everything right now. It's ridiculous. Like it's going to be to the point where they're not going to pitch to him anymore. They're just going to walk him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
He's already having a better season he's had any other previous years, and he's already been an MVP.
So yeah, it's too easy. So, but and these names I also mentioned because I did a little research, and it's chosen by a panel of MLB.com experts, where they mentioned Cal Raleigh number 2, Bobby Witt number 3, Jose Ramirez number 4, Rafael Devers, and Tariq Skubal for the Detroit Tigers tied for 5th. In the NL is where it gets interesting, and there's some names that come up. And I'm going to say this right now, and I got a little bias in me. Shohei Ohtani isn't even the best player on his team.
Nope.
I'm going to give it to him. I feel like Freddie Freeman he doesn't have as many home runs, but he has the same amount of RBIs, has a better batting average, has a better on-play plus slugging. Freddie Freeman's he's actually beating Shohei Ohtani in a lot of these categories that they look at for MVP. In the poll that,
but do you think they'd vote for him though? Like, say all things being equal, if Ohtani stays healthy and Freeman keeps if it stays the same, do you think that the voters would go against Ohtani, or do they love him that much?
That's what I'm saying. Freddie Freeman is just like he is. What's the best way to put it? His personality, like, vaults him like up to like he's just an overall good guy.
Yeah.
He's just in some people. Just a couple people may still like to have that stigma that Ohtani likes to bet on games, and they may throw that Pete Rose at him because come on, bro. Yeah, you just let somebody else handle your checkbook like that. Nah, my dude. But according to MLB.com experts, Shohei Ohtani is number 1. Pete Crow Armstrong is number 2 Freddie Freeman is number 3. Corbin Carroll for the Diamondbacks is number 4. And Kyle Tucker for the Cubs is number 5. And I also want to do an honorable mention of my own because I don't understand why his name is not up there. But Seiya Suzuki for the Chicago Cubs is having a pretty decent season as well. He leads the NL in RBIs at 52. Pete Crow Armstrong is third with RBIs with 51. And so like they're like neck and neck. Stats wise, Pete Crow Armstrong leads the. Let me see. Did I see that earlier? I think Pete Crow Armstrong leads the league in stolen bases, maybe. Or I think no. What that one dude is?
O'Neal Cruz has more. I think in the. I think he's lead from the Pirates. I think he might be leading the league.
Where my stuff at? Where? Luis Robert has 21. O'Neal Cruz has 20. Bobby Witt has 20. Pete Crow Armstrong has 19.
Okay,
so but he's up
right there. He's swiping bags. I like that. I like that kind of thing.
Scotty D, didn't O'Neal Cruz swat one the other day? Is still in rotation in orbit right now.
Oh, he hit a line. Yeah, it was one of the hardest hit balls ever. Like as far as like exit velocity and miles per hour. Yeah, out into right field. He did.
I think I felt the wind over here in Cleveland. I was like, oh, he hit.
That was from his strikeouts. That was the wind that was coming off of strike 3.
Okay.
He had multiple times.
Hey, O'Neal, I tried, bro.
He tried. I'm over here trying to pull up my quick stats to see if O'Neal Cruz made the lifted list. He didn't this past week, but I think that home run that you're talking about was from week 9. Let me see if I can pull up real quick. Come on, Chat GPT. Where's my stuff at?
He didn't really lift it. He launched it. It was just like a Scud missile.
Oh yeah. It's over here.
That's wild.
And a shout out to Ellie De La Cruz. He hit a home run the day his sister died. He had a 6-run home run. He had an older sister that had health problems and passed away, and he wanted to play, insisted on playing, and he hit a home run in the 6th inning of the game for the Reds. He's having a decent year. He's only hitting .252, but he's got 17 stolen bases also.
Yep. Breaking news, fellas. 2 hours ago, former Minnesota Vikings defensive lineman Jim Marshall has passed away at the age of 87 years old. If you remember Jim Marshall, you might remember him from He's Going the Wrong Way, that Jim Marshall. So
yep.
Oh man.
So RIP to Jim Marshall, man, after a lengthy hospitalization. So yeah, shout out to him, the Vikings family and organization, and rest in power, Jim Marshall. With that being said, Scotty D, what's on tap for next week's choices of the voices?
Okay, we actually briefly touched on this last. We were talking about how Michael Jordan, when he was in his NBA heyday, never went to a Game 7 in the postseason. So we're going to ask you, who do you think was his most difficult opponent, team-wise? Went to 6 several times, but who was his most difficult opponent? And it doesn't even have to be in the finals. You could think in conference as well. So that'll give us something to talk about next week. Who do you think was Michael Jordan's most difficult team to overcome?
I got 2 answers already.
I got one person, LeBradford Smith. I'm lying. I'm joking. After hearing that, Scott, do you maybe you want to go rewatch The Last Dance all over again?
Oh, that was good stuff. I got us through the COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yes, O'Neal Cruz, that one he hit, didn't make the lifted for week 9. It was number 4, went 442 feet. The exit velocity was 117.9 miles per hour. That's insane. I'm pretty sure that's the fastest hit ball of the year. It just was a line drive that left quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Scotty D said the wind is from what, Scotty D?
Whatever he swung and missed.
Gotcha. All right, with that being said, that does it for another round of Choice of the Voices. Coming up next, Be Live. Grab that pepper grinder. You know what time it is. It's time for a round of pepper. Be Live, going to hit the graphic. We're going to be right back right here on the Sports Bros Podcast.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
All right, you heard the woman. It's time for us to go home and get what I call the hell up out of here. But before we go, around the pepper. You know how we do it. 3 topics, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really. Here to engage, enlighten, educate, and entertain. The 4 E's in no particular order. With that being said, I'll go first. I think I'm gonna start doing shows in the future standing up. All right. All right. On this day in history,
Oh,
back
this
in
makes me nervous.
you shouldn't be nervous, Scotty D. You should be nervous. I'm jumping. But anyways, all right. On this day in history, back in 1925, 100 years ago, Chicago White Sox baseball player Eddie Collins becomes the 6th player in Major League Baseball history at the time to collect 3,000 hits. And here I am. I can barely hit a ball, but Eddie Collins, he did it 3,000 times. Over to you, Scotty D.
Oh. Well, Be Live, I'm going to kind of cue this one up a little bit if it's something you wanted to mention. But so next week, after your birthday, a couple of days after, my dad and I are going to go to the U.S. Open up here at Oakmont, the Thursday round. We're looking forward to that very much. Oh. I have actually been to a major championship before, the PGA Championship back in 2018, I want to say it was. Nonetheless, you were talking about trying to get tickets to the Masters. The Masters now has an open lottery to try to get tickets to that, and they are clamping down on that. I don't know if you've seen this, but the Masters they're going to give you a hard time if you buy your tickets off of StubHub, and if you get a third-party ticket. So they're actually raising their prices $20 from the average of I think it's going from like 140 average to 160.
160. Yep.
Yeah, and they're going to say, if you come to the gate and you got yourself a StubHub or any of these other sites, we probably aren't going to let you in. Makes me wonder if this is going to be the Pandora's box opening that could lead to other sporting events following that, and maybe these sites, these Vivid Seats and StubHub and these other ones might be starting to get a little heat. And there's no such thing as scalpers on the street anymore because paper tickets are pretty much a thing of the past. It's all done electronically. I don't know how they're going to monitor that, but this is an interesting story to follow just to see if others are going to follow behind the Masters. Be Live, over to you.
Well, I'm just hoping more than anything that you don't have the people that have no intention of going to these events. They're just buying tickets to resell them at a higher value, and they're literally just like it shouldn't be. It should not be a business. Let's just put it that way. If something comes up, yes, you should be able to resell your ticket, but at face value, not at 4 times the value of. That's what I want them to get rid of. Hey, if you buy a ticket, the only way you can sell the ticket is at face value, not some ridiculous upcharge or whatever. That's where it should stop.
Yeah, it's how's all this going to be monitored? How's all this going to be followed? I mean, it's got to be. It's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. If the scalpers still do that, if people still buy them up and hold, and you can't get the tickets, and then with the risk of buying them off the third party, wasting your money and not getting into the event. I mean, that's what's going to be interesting to watch with all this.
Congressional action. Tell these third-party vendors that they can't charge more than what the face value is set by the actual vendor. That's easy. It's a very easy fix. But guess what? There's lobbyists and people paying extra money to be like, no, don't do that to us. That's our business. It shouldn't be a business. But that's me. I could talk all day about that. My first pepper point is in the world. My first pepper point, we're going to go back into the world of college football and college athletics in general, and the world that we live in when it comes to the transfer portal and, more importantly, NIL and upfront money for kids coming out of high school. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the video of a 5-star recruit that got announced his recruitment with Oregon, where Dan Lanning and him, but goes by the name of Richard Wesley, they jumped in a pool together to announce he was coming to Oregon. And it was a video that went viral and all the things that Dan Lanning was having a good time. He got a 5-star recruit until he didn't, because 17 days later, that same recruit and that had Dan Lanning jumping into a pool decommitted from Oregon. This has gotta stop. Guys, got 9 coaches out here looking a fool for a player that ain't got the slightest bit of loyalty and probably didn't get paid enough, even though Oregon it will pay top dollar. Who knows what happens and what goes on? Somebody gave him a better package, and there's no loyalty whatsoever. Eddie Cool, the ball.
All right. Speaking of ball, the ball on this day in history, Nolan Ryan. What has this man not done during his professional career? He pitches his second one hitter this season and 11th overall. Another thing, 3 days later, he put Robin Ventura in the infamous headlock. Over to you, Scotty D. I'm just saying, but every time I think about Nolan Ryan, I think about Robin Ventura, and I'm pretty sure if I'm Robin Ventura, I'll be like, look, don't talk to me about that no more.
Yeah, that's his stamp on his career, getting pummeled by a 45-year-old pitcher.
Not the claim of fame that you want.
No. So here's a good little claim to fame. I watched the Buccos this past weekend, and in back-to-back games, Andrew McCutchen hit home runs. Significant because the home run on Sunday tied him for third all-time on the Pirates home run list with 240 with the great Roberto Clemente. Man, anytime you mention the same breath as Clemente, kudos to you. So shout out to McCutchen. He spent 5 years away from the Pirates, so he has more than the 240 home runs, but 240 in a Bucco uniform, tied with the great Roberto. Be Live, over to you.
My second pepper point is near and dear to the community that I reside in the entire state of North Carolina, because it's been talks and rumblings and things have happened and whatever. But The Rock, and we're talking about Rockingham Speedway. They closed it down a few years ago, and somebody bought it and said, "All right, we're gonna fix it back up. We're gonna renovate it. We're gonna bring it back to standard and bring racing back to The Rock in Rockingham, North Carolina." Well, 6 weeks ago, The Rock held their first NASCAR Xfinity and Craftsman Truck Series race. 6 weeks ago, The Rock is back. And just that quickly, after the first race, the guy that bought it is selling The Rock. Guy goes by the name of Dan Lovenheim. The reason why this is a story, however, and the reason why I'm a little upset is because I need to be in this business, because not only did he buy it, but he didn't actually renovate it. It was the taxpayers of North Carolina that paid for the renovations, upwards to the tune of $90 million of state grants that funded the renovation. And now he gets to sell it and pocket the profit?
Wow.
What? Oh, no. How is that legal? I need whoever's going to buy it, or him or whoever, to pay that $90 million back to the state of North Carolina, because you didn't renovate it. We did. You might have put up some pieces into it.
We need our money back.
That's what I'm just saying. That blows my mind. Like, how can you actually get away with doing that? Using taxpayer money to renovate your facility.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it's our facility if we're putting our money into it, but then you get to sell it and pocket the money? Oh, no. I need that to be investigated. Eddie Koo, the ball.
Be Live, you know how it goes. If there's a will, there's a way, all right? Third and final pepper point story. I had a few to choose from, so I'm going to go with this one. On this day in history, back in 2018, handful of years ago, Golden State guard Stephen Curry breaks Ray Allen's NBA Finals record for the most three-pointers with 9 in the Warriors' 122-103 Game 2 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the rest, as they say, is history. Over to you, Scotty D.
Saturday night, I saw something that I had not seen before. I was watching the UFC, and the main event was getting ready to come on. Macy Barber versus Aaron Blanchfield. They showed the video package, and that was hyping up the fight right before the walkouts. And then when the video package was over, there was no walkouts. That was the end of the show because Macy Barber was not medically cleared. How that happened 2 minutes before the fight is beyond me. It's completely stunned Daniel Cormier, who was the announcer from the cage side, ring side, whatever you want to call it. And Aaron Blanchfield says she's not interested in booking another fight with Macy Barber. Still has not to my knowledge, been revealed. There was rumors that she may have had a seizure at some point. She had some medical issues that kept her out of action for about a year. But nonetheless, very strange that she was not medically cleared right as the video package was aired that was leading up to the main event of the fight late Saturday night. Just a weird, interesting story to follow. Some weird things going on with the UFC right now, also with Tom Aspinall, the interim heavyweight champion, saying John Jones is really not the heavyweight champion because he don't want to fight. Let's get some fights going. I'm the champ. A lot of weird things going on with UFC, but none stranger than that whole Saturday night fiasco with Macy Barber. B-Lav, over to you.
That's wild.
Oh, man. But you know what's wild? I got some Christmas situationals going on right now. But
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your socks because B-Live is probably gonna bring us something. It's gonna bring us something wild. So let's go.
Oh, you already know it. I mean, this isn't too wild, but it was sort of embarrassing. And I'm gonna just start off by naming names. By the names of Tim Bontemps from ESPN.com, Dustin Doperak from the Indianapolis Star, Katie George from ESPN Radio, Fred Katz from The Athletic, and Steve Popper from Newsday. The reason why I named those five media personalities, media panelists, is because I guarantee you they are not on Tyrese Halliburton's Christmas list at all. Because they are the five people that had Tyrese Halliburton are ready to accept that Eastern Conference Final MVP to the point of where he actually started moving forward, and they named the name Pascal Siakam. They were the five people that voted for Pascal Siakam to win the Eastern Conference Final MVP. You would have to go back to the video and see it, but literally when they were Ernie Johnson from Inside the NBA was announcing the MVP. Tyrese Halliburton actually took a step forward, thinking and pretty much assuming that they were going to call his name, and they did not.
God, dog.
So, yeah, it was a little embarrassing, a little egg on the face, because you can't really assume anything and everything. Even though Halliburton went 21 points, 10.5 assists, 6 rebounds, 2.5 steals, Siakam went 24.8 points, 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. So it's debatable, and that's why it was a split vote, 5-4. 5 went to Pascal Siakam, while 4, Steve Osburner from NBA.com, Jamal Collar from ESPN.com, Reggie Miller from TNT, and Joe Varden from The Athletic. They were the 4 that voted for Halliburton. So they might get a gift. Reggie Miller and Halliburton is always going to have that pointing moment and a choking moment. But Pascal Siakam is your Eastern Conference Final MVP, and Tyrese Halliburton has egg on his face. I'll send you guys a video because when you see it, you go like, oh, ooh. Ooh. Ouch.
Didn't that happen like a celebrity game too at one point?
The last celebrity game, I think, what was it, Drewski or Booski or whatever, or Kai Cenat, one of them ones.
Yeah, Kai Cenat,
thought they were going to win the MVP, and they were like, no, it ain't, no, it's not you at all, my dude. And they didn't have an argument because they were terrible, but come on. Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, it was really close, but it's one of those things where Halliburton is sort of like the unsung, like he's the face of the franchise, so to speak. But hey, yeah, Halliburton
should have been him.
Don't assume, because
should have been him for the shot in game 1 alone. That was him.
That it could easily be. That's a very valid argument because you don't make that. That's an entirely different series. It really is an entirely different series. But yeah, that's the dagger. But it is what it is. Individual awards, he may have lost some money or that probably comes with incentives, but it is what it is.
Are we doing a show next week?
Yes, we are absolutely doing a show next week.
Okay, happy birthday, B-Live.
Yes.
I give this show 7.2. Off to Neverland.
He just went absolutely 100% Dave Portnoy on us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been another extra episode of the SportsBros podcast. But before we get up out of here, We also want to send a special rest in peace to John Brinkers. If you remember him, he did sports science, and he lost his battle with depression. And just to let you know, June is Men's Mental Health Month. So find a therapist, talk to somebody, and also you can listen to our podcast, me and B Live's podcast, on the Wonder Check Wednesday podcast. We're not experts; we're just sharing stories. So R.I.P. to him and his family, and his thoughts and prayers are with us as well, or with him as well too. With that being said, if you're loving the show, do us a quick favor, hit that follow button, give us a like, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss a moment of an episode. If I can talk, whether you're tuning in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, wherever, YouTube, your support helps us keep bringing heat each and every week. And click that description link, not description link, but the link tree link to keep up with us on social media. And in closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else, they're greatly appreciated now more than ever. Be a blessing, not a burden. And come back next week for episode 300. I'm going to do my Pinto walk. And this is another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. Be Live, take us home.
Yes, sir.
That's why I want to stand up, Be Live, so I can do my Pinto walk. Smooth.
National Happy Be Live Day, June 9th, baby. Episode 300, June 10th. We in there.
Like swimwear. Hey, y'all take care. Thanks for rating, reviewing, subscribing, and watching. And we'll see y'all next week. Peace.